fellow car lovers. Today, I'm very honored to be able to talk to a legendary man who has a great passion for Healey.
Again, I love Healeys. Early Healeys, definitely. Austin Healeys, not so much. Early stuff. The early stuff that Donald built between 1945 and 1951. That's what I love. I can imagine the two of them sat over dinner in the RAC club in London, arguing over it, and they'd got their second or third bottle of wine down, and they were on the bottles of port, which they would have been in those days, and on the brandies. And in the end, Donald just lost it and said, okay, fine. You want to do Le Mans, you take the car, you do Le Mans, I don't want anything to do with it, but you enter as a private entry. So in 1949, Jack Bartlett took the car that Donald had driven on the 1949 Mille Miglia, which was an Elliott saloon, and he entered it at Le Mans as a private entry. Okay? The car finished 13th overall. Right? Unbelievable result. So the following year, from 1950 onwards, Donald entered this as a works car. He also entered the same Healey Elliott at Le Mans, and Jack Bartlett and Nigel Mann partnered and drove that one. This was driven by Duncan Hamilton and Tony Rolt. And the Elliott, this finished 4th overall, and the Elliott finished 17th overall. And from that year on, every car that Donald entered in the Mille Miglia then went on to do Le Mans. And he built up an unbelievable history and pedigree on the Healey cars. And then when he did the deal with Austin and built the Austin Healeys, that's what put him on the map. And then he sat back and he said, thank you very much. And he got a royalty for every car that Austin built. And they built the Nash-Healey. He did this deal with Nash, put the Nash engine into one of his cars. Successful at Mille Miglia wasn't successful. He finished about 177th, which is a bad finish, but he finished. And at Le Mans, as I say, it finished 4th overall. And it was the first time Duncan Hamilton had ever driven Le Mans. And as I say, 3 years later, Hamilton and Rolt teamed up together and drove the Jaguar, which of course they won Le Mans with. Right. So very, very important car. A lot of history on it, and not a lot of people know about it. That's the thing.
That's why we would love to hear from you, especially for our car lovers.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very, and it's a pleasure, and it's lovely to own it and drive it and take it back and do the events that it did in period.
How did you find the car?
I have a network of friends that know I love Healeys, okay? And I got a phone call one day from a guy that said, I know a guy called Jim that's got an early Nash-Healey. I said, okay, tell me more about it. He said, I don't know much about it. He's had it a long time. So anyway, I got in touch with him, and we exchanged emails, and emails were going backwards and forwards, and then I got a phone number for him, and I rang him and spoke to him, and he was an old boy. Yeah. And I used to send him Christmas cards. I'd send him a Christmas card with a picture of a car on it, and I always put my name and address on the back of the card, because I knew that one day his family would walk in and say, who's this Christmas card from? Oh, that's from that crazy Englishman that wants my car. Yeah. Because if anything ever happened to him, the family might pick the card up and say, there's a guy in England that wants Dad's car. Let's see if we So that's the idea of doing that. Anyway, I rang him up one day and I said, Jim, I'm in America next week on a bit of business. I've just realised I'm only 50 miles from you. Can I come and see you? Yeah. And he said, no, very reluctant, no. And so I changed the subject, and we were chatting away, talking on the phone. And he said, well, I suppose if you're coming over, give me a call when you come over. So I didn't. Put the phone down. I booked a flight straight away. Oh my God. I wasn't going. I booked the flight, went straight over, and then I waited 24 hours after I got there, and then just got the car, drove around to his house and knocked on the door. And he came out, it's quite funny, because he came out the house and he shut the door behind him, right? And we stood on this front veranda having a chat, talking about, and I didn't talk about the car, didn't mention the car. No. I just said, nice to meet you, nice to put a face to, blah, blah, and we're talking away. And he said, I suppose you want a beer? So we went back in the house, came out with a beer, brought this beer out. We stood there drinking that, and we're chatting away.
You're drinking outside the house?
It's outside the house. No, I wasn't invited in. No, we're on the veranda, right? Bottle of Budweiser on the veranda. And then he said, I suppose you want to look at the car. Oh, really? Is it here? So we went to this garage, and there it was, back end up in the air on axle stands.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said, I was going to restore it, or I'm going to restore it. Keep saying, I'm going to restore it. Been like that since 1969.
I see.
Right? Off the road, back end up in the air, wheels off. He said, the wheels are here somewhere. I mean, it had a layer of dust over it, and it needed completely restoring. It was in a bad way, right?
Yes.
And I said to him, look, sell me it, I'll restore it. No. Wouldn't sell it. No, I'm going to do it, right? Anyway, left it at that, went home, and then I think it was about 2 years later.
2 years later?
2 years later.
My God.
I was in the workshop one Saturday afternoon and the phone rang. And I thought, who's that? So I answered it, and he said, that Warren? I said, yeah. He said, it's Jim. Jim who? I knew immediately who it was. I said, Jim who?
Playing hard.
Jim, with the Nash-Heeley. Oh, hello, Jim, how are you? Nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
Do you still want my car? Yeah, I'd love your car. I really would. He said, right, I'll sell you it. I said, how much? And he threw a figure at me.
Yeah.
And I bit my tongue because it wasn't a lot of money for the car, okay? And I said to him, look, I've got to talk to the wife about this. I'm playing it coolly. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not jumping at this too quick because he'll realise when he put the phone down, he'll think, it's too cheap. I've asked enough. So I said, look, give me a couple of hours to talk to the wife and I'll ring you back.
Yeah.
I waited 3 hours. I rang him back and I said, look, Jim, I've spoken to the wife and I'm sorry to say that I can buy your car, but I haven't got the money to restore it just yet. I need to wait a couple of years to rebuild it. Okay? I didn't want him to realise that he'd sold it to me far too cheap. And he said, well, if it's any help, he said, I'll pay the shipping. So I said, well, you better give me your bank details. And I transferred the money first thing on Monday morning.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, and it was, you've got that Saturday afternoon through to Monday morning, you're thinking, don't talk to any of your friends.
Yeah,
Do not tell your friends that how much you've sold this car for, because not even 100 miles from him was the man with the largest collection of Nash-Heeleys in the world.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this guy has got some prototype cars. He's got two of Walt Disney's old cars. He's got ex-baseball players' cars. He's got works cars. He's got both. This is X5. He's got X14, X15, X7. He's got the coupe. I mean, he's got some really important cars. And if he knew this had been sold and going to the UK, he would have literally outbid me on the spot. So waiting till that Monday morning to transfer the money and to have that conversation with Jim where he said, yes, I've got the money, thank you. And then for me to arrange a shipping company to go in and pick it up. When it was on the back of that recovery truck, on its way to the docks to be loaded up, was when I was happy. And I found out 6 months later, he died.
Oh no.
Cancer, yeah.
But you're very, that visit 2 years previously, that I think that probably made
yeah. Going and seeing people, and I mean, there's another car that I've been looking for. I think about 9.5 years I've been looking for it, and I recently found it, and I've now got to talk to the man and try and buy it.
Yeah.
But it gets another car that's been in family ownership for many, many, many years, been off the road since the 60s.
Yeah.
But they are out there.
Yeah.
They are out there because they were expensive cars. I mean, we went through until the mid-80s. The classic car movement was eccentric people that like old cars. I mean, it wasn't until the mid-80s that things started to move. I mean, I grew up with my father, bought and sold old cars. I used to go to school in Bugattis and blower Bentleys and old cars. Grew up. My first blood blister I ever got was trapped under the bonnet of a Type 35 Bugatti, and Father had a pair of them under the carport outside. I mean, this is the stuff I grew up with. But they were just old cars. I mean, in 1965, 66, my father bought a Type 35 Bugatti and a Blackburn engine Fraser Nash TT Rep, and he paid £1,200 for the pair. He sold the Bugatti a week later for £1,350, and that was a lot of money. And he kept the Fraser Nash right up until I think it was 98, 99 when he sold the Fraser Nash. So, and they were just old cars.
So did you have to do a lot to restore this?
Yes, yeah.
What have you done?
Everything.
Everything?
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
The body was so because when you think when this was made in 1950, the aluminium that they were using was sheet aluminium left from the war and the aircraft industry.
Did you have the original photos?
We had. I've got lots of old photos of it, and I've got lots of bits. We had to make new side pods completely. The body itself, the centre body is original. The bonnet we remade. The door we remade. The rear pod we remade that. Side panels we remade those because they were really, really, really bad. You couldn't do anything with them at all. Mechanically, everything has been rebuilt. It's been right out every single component because you're getting a car that is on a rolling road, strapped down. We've had 146 mile an hour out of it. Okay, it's got a lot of torque. This car in top gear, in third gear in overdrive, at 2,000 revs, it's doing 90 mile an hour. So, and it's got a lot of torque. You can drive this because it was the first car ever to run at Le Mans with an overdrive gearbox. So you can put this thing, when I do the Mille Miglia, I run this in top gear, just using the overdrive, in and out the overdrive.
Really?
For the roundabouts, it's got that much torque that it will pull away in top gear.
So what's your proudest moment with this car?
Taking this over the finish line at Mille Miglia. Over the finish line 70 years on from when it was first, and getting a better position than Donald Healey did.
Oh my God.
I think we finished 185th, and Donald, I think he finished 277, I think it was, something like that. But we got a better finish than he did, which was, and he was a good driver. I mean, in 48, when Donald did the Mille Miglia in his Western, he finished 9th overall and won his class. In 49, I think he finished 13th overall. I think it was 13th in his Healey Elliott. So he was a good. He won the Monte Carlo pre-war in a low chassis Invicta. So the man was a good driver. I would like to say he was a good businessman because he's the only British car manufacturer to ever make money out of building cars because he never built a car. He put his name to the Austin Healey 100 was a car that was designed in his works. The prototypes were built in his works. The first 19 cars were built there. And Lord Lenham that ran Austin at the time came at the motor show to look at the car that Donald had built with their little B90 Austin engine. Loved the car so much, said, we'll build it. We'll build it and we'll give you a royalty for every car that was built. We don't know the exact figure. We know that on the Frog Eye Sprite he got £19 for every car that was built, and we think that the Austin was about £35. For every car that was built, Donald got £35. He went back to the works at the Cape in Warwick and said to the guys, shut that down, get rid of that lot, we're not building any more cars. And he turned the works into a race and competition department for Austin. So he took Austin Healey cars and he took them to Le Mans, Sebring, Mille Miglia. He rallied and he built limited numbers like the Austin Healey 100S. But everything, I mean, the early cars, it was a Riley engine, Riley gearbox, Riley back axle. So really and truthfully, he was a production kit car builder. he was using whatever was available at the time to build a car. His first car he started building at the end of the Second World War, which was September time, I think, 45, and it was finished and built by January the 10th of 1946. Now that's some going.
Yes.
And he borrowed £50,000 off of a friend of his wife, okay, to start the company.
Right.
I mean, the man was a very, very, very clever. He was an entrepreneur, and he made later years. He was working on radios. I know a man that's got a Healey radio. I've only ever seen one, but he's not a man that's got one. He built boats. He built speedboats, wooden speedboats in the mid-50s. I admire the man because he did so much for the British motor industry.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, everybody knows the Austin Healey. Very few people know about Healeys, which were the cars he built before the Austin Healey came along. And he built cars from 1945 right through till the first Austin Healey in 52, I think that was. Yeah.
On a completely different questions, do you have any funny experience with the car? Something you find quite entertaining?
Lots of swearing. A lot of people say to me, do you name your cars? I say, no, I swear at them regularly.
So what's your plan for the future then?
Mille again next year. They've just sent me an invitation to bring it back out to Italy next year for Mille. So it will be going there. I'd like to get it into Classic Le Mans next year. I've got a couple of friends of mine that will drive it because I won't drive it. No. my mind is too mechanically minded, and I know that there might be 5 wheel nuts on there, but there's only one nut and one split pin behind that holding the hub on.
Oh my
God. I'm one of these people that when I go on a fairground ride, I'm sat in the car looking at the mechanics above me thinking, there's only an R-clip holding that pin in. If that pin comes out or that R-clip fails, And roller coasters, no. I look at a roller coaster and I think, my God, that's man-made. So I won't drive. I'll do the Mille because that's road, you're running at road speeds, but racing, no. Someone else can drive it and do that. Someone else that's lost a few marbles up here can go round and
Is that more crazy people?
Yeah. Well, you look at all the famous racing drivers in the post-war years.
Yeah.
Okay, most of them were fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Okay, fighter pilots or even bomber command or something like that, and they knew they were going up and they might not come back. And how many of their friends they saw go up in action and then not come back? And all these guys had such a happy-go-lucky attitude, and they were thrill seekers. And no, I won't do that. I won't do that.
You are a legend anyway.
I just enjoy my cars. I enjoy my cars, and
I heard that you actually have many other cars as
I've
well.
got.
What have you got?
I've got. When we're talking Healeys, I've got Donald's first car he ever built, the original prototype Healey Western. I've got that. I've got the second car he built, the one he set the speed record in Italy.
Oh wow!
I've got the first production car, so I've got chassis numbers 1, 2, and 3.
Wow!
I've got the only Healey Woody estate car left in existence. I've got a Healey sports boat. Actually, I've got 2 Healey sports boats. One is closed behind the Woody because I think they look good together. A wooden speedboat behind the Healey Woody estate car is wonderful. I've got 2 out the 3 remaining Healey Duncan drones. I've got a Healey Duncan saloon. I've got 3 Healey Silverstones. I've got another couple of Healey Westlands. What else have I got? I've got a Nash-Heeley, panelcraft bodied Nash-Heeley. I had a Pininfarina one, but I've sold that. I've got a Jaguar SS100. I've got a couple of Fraser Nashes. I've got a Rover 200 BRM that I enjoy driving. I've got obviously the MGA Coupe. What else have I got? I don't say anymore. The wife might watch this.
So what's your daily car?
My daily car.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the MGA Coupe is
Yeah.
the only car that lives at home. This is the only classic I've got that actually lives at home in the garage at home, so I can get in it and drive it whenever I want.
Yeah.
Right. The rest all live in a warehouse, and I have to go down there and I have to move cars around to get another car out. So this gets used the most. I've got a Healey Silverstone, supercharged Healey Silverstone, that I also use a lot. Okay, so that's in an easy access point. But as I say, this is the only one. In fact, we were here last night. We were just packing up, and my daughter rang me, and her name's Healey. 8-year-old daughter. This is her car, right?
Oh, this is your daughter's
Yeah,
car.
this is my daughter's car. And she rang me last night and she said, "Daddy, the MG's not in the garage." I said, "No, it's up here at the show with us."
Yes.
"Oh, I wish I was with you." I said, "Well, you're coming up tomorrow, so she'll be up later on today, and she's up for the weekend, and she will be telling everyone about her car."
Good, great.
Yeah.
So we can interview her tomorrow.
Yeah, come and talk to her tomorrow. She'll tell you all about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She actually teach them young, right? We took that to Silverstone Classic, and she drives it around there. Okay.
Did you get it brand new or?
A guy in Australia built it. He only built 5, and they were all different.
Okay.
It's got a little electric motor in the back, so it goes. What does it do? It's only probably about 4 or 5 miles an hour, but it's quick enough. I can't catch her when she's off in it.
Yes.
But it's teaching her to respect cars and to look after the car, and she loves coming to shows now. Yeah. Right. And talking to people. She took it to Goodwood. She's had it on display at Goodwood. You sit there. I think she was 4 when we took it to Goodwood and had it on display at Goodwood. And she was telling everyone about it, and she was polishing finger marks off of it. Yeah. And she absolutely loves it. In fact, at Silverstone this year, we had a guy trying to buy it off us, and she said to me, I said, "Look, take the money, put the money in your bank. You'll need it one day." Yeah. She said, "No, I'll only sell it if you build me a copy of X5.
Oh my God.
So we've now got this
Very
task.
clever girl.
We've now got this task that she wants me to build her a half-scale version of that.
Okay.
I said, "Okay, we'll do it if you help."
Yeah.
So we're going to go and buy her a scanner, and then she can scan it, and she can scan all and reduce everything. I said, we've got to start making things. So the first thing you do is you've got to scan it all, then we can reduce it 50%, and you can 3D print bits, and then we can get those cast in the foundry. And I'm going to teach her the whole process.
Wow.
And I think by the time she's 14, she might have a car.
She probably want to, get all your collections,
There were a couple of cars there's one car in particular that was my father's car. That my father, it's a chain-driven Fraser Nash, right? A 1936 car. Yeah. And my father and I started restoring the car, must be 50 years ago. We stopped after 5 years because I was busy doing things, he was doing other things, and he passed away 8 years ago. And I went to the auction and bought the car, okay? And I've sat down and started again and fully rebuilt it, and it's nearly finished. It'll be finished in the next few weeks. And that's a car that she will have. That will stay in the family. Okay. What she does with it, I'm gone, I won't be around to care about, but...
Oh, that's...
Got to teach her to drive
family
it.
Treasure.
Yeah. She wants to drive. She wants to drive. And I said, well, since your feet can reach the pedals, we can teach you to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the true family inheritance.
Well, as long as I can keep her interest.
Yeah.
Keep her interest and not force it down her, then...
It shows that she's going to be maybe a racing driver one day.
No. No.
Or a car business person.
She wants her one of her ambitions is to do the Mille Miglia with me.
Okay.
She wants to navigate on the Mille Miglia with me. She is determined about that. She can't do that until she's 18. No. So we've got 10 years to wait. but she is now starting to get to a point where we get in the car, we're going somewhere, and she'll say, I'm your navigator today, and then she'll start telling me where to go, right? She might have it on her phone on a GPS, and I'm starting to introduce her into map reading and teach her an ordnance survey map. But no, the quicker I can get her into a rally, the better.
Yeah, I'm all for women in motorsports, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Because the stereotyping idea about women, so like, don't drive fast car, don't do this.
We've just in the workshop. We've just taken our first female mechanic on.
Oh, that's good.
No, it's. I think it's. She's keen. She's done her apprenticeship. She's been through Citroen and Peugeot, and she likes old cars. Well, she drives a 1998 Peugeot, which she thinks is a classic, and I say it's not a classic. I remember those in the Tesco's car park. In fact, if you drive around Tesco car park, you'll probably still find one today. But I'm giving her as many opportunities as possible. I'll say to her, right, go and take that. Go and move that. What, you want me to drive that? You can drive that. If you can fix it, you can drive it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We have a Austin Allegro at home.
Yeah. When my oldest daughter was born, and she's 43 now, right?
Yeah.
I picked her up from hospital in an Allegro.
Really?
Yeah. At the time I worked at Coburn Hughes at the time, selling motorcycles, and we took an Austin Allegro in part exchange on a motorcycle, and I said to Roger Polton, who was the showroom sales manager at the time, I said, what are you doing with the Max? Oh, we'll Allegro, we'll trade it out. I said, how much? He said, £35. I said, I'll have that.
What colour is yours?
It was pale blue.
Oh, mine's brown.
Brown. Oh, well, that's a classic colour, isn't it? I remember when everybody drove around in Mark IV Cortinas. Mark IV Cortinas were everywhere. Every sales rep had a Mark IV Cortina. And then all of a sudden, it's as if overnight, every Mark IV Cortina was confiscated. Because they disappeared overnight. Same as Sportiera. They were everywhere. Then all of a sudden, you don't see one. Vauxhall Chevettes. When was the last time we saw a Vauxhall Chevette on the road?
No.
And you go now, I go to a lot of the local car clubs like Auto Anonymous and other little car clubs. And it's full of modern cars. And I'm thinking to myself,
how boring, isn't it?
I remember it wasn't that long ago, I'd come to this pub for a drink and the car park was the same. Same cars, but they were new then.
Yeah.
Now now they're being polished and they're being looked after.
If you want to call yourself, what would you call yourself? With the car?
An idiot.
You can't say that on the camera.
I know it's
some people say that they are a classic car lover, but that's too general. Fast car lover.
I don't
like
know.
Healy lover?
I like Healey's purely because Donald Healey was out the box. When you look at the car he designed and built in 1945, and when you compare it to what Jaguar were producing at the time, what MG were producing, they were still all building pre-war cars. Okay? And he produced this car that looked, well, at the time when it came out, it must have looked like a spaceship.
Yeah.
So it's what he did, okay, and how he put an idea into action very quickly. That's what amazed me about the guy. You've got to think, the post-war year...
So I'm going to introduce you. We haven't done the start thing yet. I'm going to introduce you. What would you like me to introduce you as? Healey...
I don't know. I really don't know.
Something?
I don't know. I'm just a guy that loves Healey's and the story behind the Healey's and what Donald Healey actually did.
Okay. Taiwan.
Yeah.
And in Taiwan, none of this classic car.
No.
Only started to...
Yeah, but my wife's Thai, okay? And I met her in Thailand, and I went back to her village, okay?
Yeah.
And this was 12 years ago.
Right.
And walking around the village, let's say there's 100 houses in the village, okay? There was one pickup truck owned by one family, okay? Everyone else had scooters or rotavators, rotavators with wheels on to get to the farm and back again, okay?
Right.
And then mobile phones were coming in and people were getting mobile phones. Now you go back to the village, every house has got a pickup truck and a car, right? They've all got the latest mobile phones. They've all sold their bits of land that they inherited and took the money to buy a truck or to buy a car. And I said to the wife, 8 years ago, I said, this is getting too westernised too quickly. It's crazy. The internet has had the same effect that the First World War had. Because prior to the First World War, everyone lived in their little communities. They worked on the land or they worked for the local mill owner or whatever. They then went to war, went to the trenches. Those that came back had seen the bigger world. They've seen outside their community. And when you look at the motor industry, post 1918, so many little car manufacturers started up. When we went through the 20s, there were probably 50 or 60 car manufacturers in the UK alone that have all disappeared.
I know.
Because, okay, Wall Street crash would have killed a lot of them off, but no, they were all there. They were all there because these are the guys that went to war and they were working on military vehicles. They were mechanics, they were drivers, they learned to drive in the army. I mean, when growing up, there was a lady that lived in the big house in our village, Mrs. Salby, and she got her driving licence during the war driving ambulances. And she still thought she was driving an ambulance as she drove through the village. And if we knew Mrs. Salby was coming, you'd get off the road.